Hello, and welcome to English in Fluency. My name is Alex, and I am so happy you are here to join us today. This is a special podcast, a place for you to relax and practice your English. Our goal here is not to be fast. Our goal is to be clear. This is a special listening practice for B1 learners, which means I will speak clearly, I will speak at a comfortable speed, and I will use words and sentences that you can understand. You do not need a notebook. You do not need to worry about tests or grammar rules right now. Your only job is to listen. Just allow the words to flow over you. This is how we learn. This is how we build fluency, not just by studying, but by spending time with the language. I am really glad we can spend this time together. Today, we are going to talk about a very important and sometimes very difficult topic. The topic is positivity. How to think in a better way, every single day. When you hear the word positive, what do you think of? Many people think of smiling all the time, being loud and happy, and never having a bad day. But let's be honest, that does not feel real. That is not real life. Life has difficult moments. We have sad days, we have angry days, we have tired days. So, telling someone to just be positive can feel a little empty. It can feel like we are not allowed to have our true feelings. That is not what we are going to talk about today. This podcast is not about faking happiness. It is not about pretending that problems do not exist. This podcast is about something much deeper and much more useful. It is about learning a skill. Yes, thinking in a better way is a skill. It is not something you are born with. It is something you can practice, like playing the piano or like learning English. It is a set of tools you can use for your own mind. We are going to explore how to manage our thoughts, how to understand our feelings, and how to choose a better, more helpful way of thinking, even when life is difficult. We are going to learn how to stop creating unnecessary suffering for ourselves. So, I invite you to get comfortable. Maybe you are walking, maybe you are driving, maybe you are at home with a cup of tea. Whatever you are doing, just let my voice be a friendly guide. We are going to explore this topic together, slowly and gently. We are going to learn how to be a better friend to our own minds. Let's begin. Have you ever had a day that just started badly? You know the feeling. The alarm clock rings and it feels too loud, too soon. You open your eyes and the room feels cold. Your bed is so warm, and the idea of getting out feels impossible. You lie there for just another minute, and that minute becomes 5 minutes, and then 10. Suddenly, you are late. You jump out of bed. Your heart is already beating fast. You feel behind. You feel stressed. This is how the day begins for so many of us. Let's imagine a person. We will call her Sarah. Sarah is a kind person. She works in an office. She has a normal life. This morning, her alarm went off and she hit the snooze button. She was having a dream, a nice dream, and she did not want to leave it. When she finally looked at the clock, she was 20 minutes late. Oh no, she thought. That was the first thought. Oh no. She rushed out of bed. She ran to the bathroom, washed her face quickly, and hurried to the kitchen to make a fast cup of coffee. She needs her coffee. She was moving so quickly. As she grabbed the hot coffee pot, she turned and she bumped the cup on the counter. The cup tipped over. Hot, dark coffee spilled everywhere. It went all over the white counter. It dripped onto the floor. It was a big mess. Sarah stood there for 1 second, just looking at the mess. And then the thoughts came. They came very fast, like a storm. I am so stupid. I am so clumsy. Why does this always happen to me? This is going to be a terrible day. I can feel it. Everything is going wrong. I am going to be even later now. My boss is going to be angry. This is a disaster. She felt a hot rush of anger. She wanted to yell. She wanted to cry. She grabbed a towel and started cleaning the mess, but she was angry. She was cleaning, but in her mind, she was shouting. Her whole body was tense. Her shoulders were high. Her jaw was tight. All of this from one spilled cup of coffee. This experience is so common. One small bad thing happens, and our mind uses it as proof, as evidence that the entire day is ruined, or that we are a bad person, or that our life is just difficult. Why does this happen? Why do our brains do this? Well, it is actually very normal. Our brains are designed to protect us. For thousands and thousands of years, human brains were designed to look for danger. Imagine a person living in a cave. If they went outside, they were not looking for beautiful flowers. They were looking for snakes, for tigers, for dangers. The person who worried, the person who was always looking for the problem, that person survived. The person who was just relaxed and looking at the clouds, well, maybe they did not survive. So, we have inherited this brain. Our brain is like a problem-finding machine. It is constantly scanning the world, looking for what is wrong. This is called a negative bias. It just means that negative things, a bad word, a spilled coffee, a critical comment, stick to our brain very easily. They are like Velcro. They just attach, and it is hard to get them off. We think about them all day. But good things, a beautiful sunrise, a nice cup of tea, a kind smile from a stranger. These things are often like Teflon. They just slide right off. We experience them, we say, "Oh, that's nice," and then we forget them 2 seconds later. If you have 10 experiences in a day, and 9 are good, but 1 is bad, which one do you think about before you go to sleep? You think about the bad one. This is the negative bias. The first step to thinking in a better way is to understand this. You are not broken. You are not a negative person. You just have a normal human brain that is trying to protect you, but it is using an old, outdated program. Your office is not a dangerous cave. Your boss is probably not a tiger. Spilled coffee is not a life or death threat. But your brain reacts like it is. It floods your body with stress hormones. It makes your heart beat faster. It makes you ready to fight or to run away. All from coffee. The first and most important tool we can learn is awareness. Just that. Awareness. This is the practice of simply noticing. Noticing what is happening inside your own mind without judging it. Most of the time, we are not in control of our thoughts. Our thoughts are in control of us. We live on autopilot. The coffee spills, and bam, we are angry. We do not even see the space between the event and the reaction. But there is a space. It is very small, but it is there. The coffee spills. Space. We react. Awareness is the practice of making that space bigger. What if, when Sarah spilled the coffee, she could just notice? What if she stood there, saw the mess, and her first thought was, "Ah, I spilled the coffee. Just a fact." And then she noticed the anger. "Wow, I am feeling very angry right now." She notices her heart is beating fast. "My body is very tense." She does not judge this. She does not say, "I am bad for being angry." She just notices it, like a scientist. Interesting. Spilled coffee equals a big anger reaction in my body. When you just notice, It gives you power. You see the thought, you see the feeling, but you are not lost in it. You are the watcher of the anger, not the anger itself. This practice is sometimes called mindfulness. It is a very simple idea, but it is not easy. It takes practice. Let's imagine another person. Let's call him Thomas. Thomas heard that meditation and mindfulness are good for stress. So, he decides to try. He sits down on a cushion. He closes his eyes. He says, "Okay, I will just focus on my breath. Just breathing in, breathing out." So he breathes in, he breathes out. He breathes in, and then a thought comes. My nose itches. He tries to ignore it. He breathes in. I forgot to send that email to Susan. He breathes out. I really need to send that email. And what am I going to have for dinner? I am hungry. Maybe pizza. No, I should eat a salad. But pizza sounds so good. Then, suddenly, Thomas realizes, oh no, I was thinking about pizza. I am supposed to be breathing. I am terrible at this. I cannot even do it for 1 minute. I failed. This is what most of us do. But Thomas did not fail. The moment he realized he was thinking about pizza, that is the moment of awareness. That is the victory. The job is not to have an empty mind. That is impossible. The job is to notice when your mind has wandered. And when you notice, you do not say, I am terrible. You say, thinking. Okay. And you gently, kindly, bring your attention back to your breath. You will have to do this 1,000 times. And that is the practice. It is not the practice of staying on the breath. It is the practice of coming back to the breath, over and 1,000 times, with kindness. Let's try it together, just for 30 seconds. You can keep your eyes open. You are listening to my voice. Just for a moment, can you also notice your breath? You do not need to change it. Just notice the air coming into your body and the air going out. Now, just in that short time, did your mind wander? Did you think about my words? Did you think, this is silly? Did you think about tomorrow? If you did, that is perfect. You noticed. You just practiced awareness. That is the first and biggest step. When you can see your thoughts, they have less power over you. Now, let's go back to Sarah. She cleaned up the coffee. She is angry and stressed. She gets in her car. She is already late. She pulls onto the road. And what does she find? Traffic. A huge traffic jam. The cars are not moving. She is sitting, surrounded by red lights. She looks at the clock. I am so late. This is a nightmare. My boss is going to be furious. He is going to think I am lazy. This is just like me. I can never get anything right. This is the worst day. Look at what is happening. The situation is traffic. That is the fact. The cars are moving slowly. But Sarah's thoughts are creating a catastrophe. She is not just in traffic. In her mind, she is a bad employee. She is a failure. And her life is a nightmare. Her thoughts are causing her more suffering than the traffic. The traffic is just traffic. The suffering comes from the story she is telling herself about the traffic. She finally gets to work. She is 1 hour late. She runs to her desk, her heart pounding. She feels like everyone is looking at her, everyone is judging her. Maybe they are not. She does not know, but her mind tells her they are. She sits down, turns on her computer, and opens her email. The very first email, at the top, is from her boss. The subject line just says one word: meeting. Sarah's stomach drops. Her hands feel cold. The problem-finding machine in her brain goes to work. Very fast. Meeting? He is angry. He saw I was late. This is it. He is going to fire me. He is going to tell me my work is not good enough. He found that mistake I made last week. I am in so much trouble. What am I going to do? I am going to lose my job. I will not be able to pay my rent. I will be homeless. All of this from one word, from meeting. Her day started with spilled coffee, went to a traffic jam, and is now a complete professional disaster. She is in a panic. She is sitting at her desk, frozen with fear. What is the reality? The reality is, she has no idea what the meeting is about. She has zero information. Only one word. Meeting. For all she knows, her boss wants to say, "Sarah, you did a great job on that report last month, I forgot to tell you." Or, "The new coffee machine is here. Do you want to help pick the coffee?" Or, "Can you help me set up the new printer?" She has created a story, a very detailed, very scary story, with no facts. And her body is reacting to that story as if it is 100% true. This brings us to our second tool. It is called reframing. Reframing is a wonderful word. It means changing the picture frame. The picture, the situation, stays the same. The traffic is still traffic. The email still says meeting. But you can put a different frame around it. You can change the story you tell about it. The first story our brain tells us is usually the negative one, the fear-based one. A reframe is choosing to find a different story. A story that is also possible, also true, and less painful. A reframe is not lying to yourself. A reframe is not Sarah looking at the traffic and saying, "I love traffic. This is wonderful. Yippee!" That is not true. Her brain will not believe that. A reframe has to be believable. So, let's help Sarah reframe the traffic jam. Her first thought was, "This is a nightmare. Everything is going wrong." That is a story. It is a very unhelpful story. What is a reframe? A better, more helpful story? Maybe, "Okay, I am in traffic. I cannot control this. Getting angry will not make these cars move. It will only make me feel sick. I will be late. That is a fact. When it is safe, I will send a quick message to my boss. Until then, I am safe in my car." This is frustrating, but it is not a nightmare. A nightmare is something much worse. This is just traffic. Since I am stuck here, maybe I can use this time. I can listen to some music I love. I can listen to this English podcast. I am not stuck in traffic. I am getting some extra English listening practice. I am actually doing something good for myself. Can you feel the difference? The situation is exactly the same. She is still in her car, not moving. But in the first story, she is a victim, she is suffering, she is angry. In the second story, she is still frustrated, but she is in control of her experience. She has taken her power back from the traffic. She has chosen a better, kinder, more useful story. Now let's help her with that email. Her first story was, "I am going to be fired." A very scary story. What is a reframe? She needs to find a believable new story. Maybe, "My boss sent me an email that says, meeting. I have no idea what it is about. My mind is guessing that it is bad news, because I am already stressed. But I am just guessing. It is also possible that it is good news. It is also possible that it is neutral news. It is also possible it has nothing to do with me being late. I do not have enough information to be worried. I will not worry until I have facts. Until I go to the meeting, I will just breathe. I will get a glass of water. I will do my work. Worrying now will not help me. I will just wait and see." This reframe is so powerful. It takes her out of the imaginary, scary future, being homeless, and brings her back to the present moment. And in the present moment, what is true? I am at my desk. I am safe. I have an email. That is all. By choosing this new thought, she stops the panic. She stops the stress hormones. She can breathe again. This takes practice. Your brain is used to the old negative roads. They are like superhighways. You have been driving on them for years. I am a failure. Everything is wrong. Vroom, your brain goes right down that road. These new, positive thoughts, these reframes, they are like tiny little paths in a jungle. They are hard to find. It takes effort to walk on them. But every time you choose the reframe, every time you stop and say, "Wait, what is a better story here?" you are making that path wider. You are cutting down the weeds, and the old negative highway, it starts to get leaves on it. It gets harder to use. You are, quite literally, changing the pathways in your brain. You are building new, better habits for your mind. Let's practice with another situation. Imagine Sarah's friend, we will call her Maria, sends a text message. Maria and Sarah were supposed to meet for dinner on Friday. Maria's text says, "Hey, I am so sorry. I can't meet on Friday." Rain check? That is all. Rain check just means, can we do it another time? Now, Sarah is already feeling bad about her day. Her negative bias brain jumps in. Old story. She is canceling on me. Why? She must be mad at me. Did I say something wrong? I bet she got a better offer. She is meeting someone else. She does not like me anymore. Nobody likes me. I am a bad friend. Wow. That is a lot of suffering from one small text message. Let's practice a reframe. What is a better, more helpful, believable story? New story. Reframe. Maria canceled. Okay. Her text says, "So sorry." She seems nice. I wonder if she is okay. Maybe she is tired from work. Maybe her child is sick. Maybe she just needs a quiet night at home. We all need that sometimes. Her text has nothing to show that she is mad at me. It is probably not about me at all. I will be a good friend and show her I understand. So Sarah texts back, "No problem at all. I hope everything is okay. Let's definitely try again soon. Let me know when you are free." Look at the difference. In the first story, Sarah is sad, angry, and feels like a victim. She might even text back something angry like, "Fine," and damage the friendship. In the second story, she feels compassion for her friend. She strengthens the friendship. She feels good about herself. Same situation, different story, completely different result. This is the power of reframing. Now, let's talk about another part of this. Sometimes we find it very hard to reframe. We feel so negative, so stuck, that we cannot find a good story. Our lives feel gray. Let's imagine another person. Let's call him Mark. Mark is a very kind person. He has a job. It is not a bad job, but it is boring. He does the same thing every day. He gets up, he goes to work, he comes home, he watches TV, he goes to sleep. He feels empty. He hears people talk about positivity and gratitude, and it makes him feel a little angry. Be grateful? Grateful for what? He thinks. My life is boring. I am always tired. I do not have a lot of money. My apartment is small. Mark is making a very common mistake. He thinks gratitude is only for big things. He thinks you can only be grateful if you win the lottery, or fall in love, or go on an amazing vacation. But true, powerful gratitude, the kind that can change your brain, is about the small things. It is about the tiny, everyday things that we see, but we do not notice. This brings us to our third tool, gratitude. But we will call it the practice of looking for the good. Because gratitude is not just a feeling, it is an action. It is the action of actively searching for the good things. So, I meet Mark, and I give him a challenge. I say, Mark, I know you feel this is silly, but just try it. For 1 week. Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to get a small notebook, and I want you to write down 3 new small things from your day that you are grateful for. They cannot be big. They have to be small. Mark thinks this is ridiculous, but he agrees to try. The first night, he sits on his bed with the notebook. He stares at the empty page. This is so stupid, he thinks. Grateful? My day was terrible. My boss was annoying. Lunch was bad. He cannot think of anything. Okay, he says to himself. I have to write 3 things. He thinks for a long time. I am grateful for my bed. It is comfortable. He writes it down. He thinks again. I am grateful for the dinner I ate. It was hot food. He writes that down. And I am grateful that my cat, she sat on my lap tonight. That was nice. He writes it down. He closes the book. He does not feel magical, but he feels a tiny bit better. Just a little. The next day, Mark goes to work. His day is normal, boring, but in the back of his mind, he knows he has homework. He knows he has to find 3 things later. So, his brain starts looking. He is on autopilot, but a new autopilot. At lunch, he eats a sandwich. He is just eating it, and he suddenly stops. He really tastes the bread. This is pretty good bread. It is fresh. He thinks, okay, I can write that down later. Later, he is walking to the bus stop. It is cold, but the sun comes out from behind a cloud for just 1 minute. It feels warm on his face. He stops. That feels good. He thinks, I can write that down. That evening, he talks to his sister on the phone. They just talk about normal things. They laugh about a stupid joke. When he hangs up, he smiles. That night, when he sits with his notebook, it is easier. He writes, 1. The fresh bread in my sandwich. 2. The warm sun on my face for 1 minute. 3. Laughing with my sister on the phone. This time, when he closes the book, he feels a small, genuine spark of warmth. He is not happy. His life is not fixed, but he is lighter. What is happening to Mark? He is retraining his brain. He is forcing his brain to stop scanning for problems, the negative bias, and to start scanning for goodness. He is practicing the skill of noticing. Remember our first tool, awareness? Gratitude is just awareness of good things. After a week of this, Mark starts to change. He still has his boring job. He still has his small apartment. But he is different. He smiles a little more. He complains a little less. When his coworker says, "How are you?" instead of his usual, "Oh, same old," he says, "You know, I am doing all right." His life has not changed, but his experience of his life has changed completely. And that is everything. This is a practice for you, our listener. You do not need a notebook right now, but just think. As you are listening to me, what is one small thing you are grateful for, right in this moment? Maybe it is the chair you are sitting on. It is holding you. It is supporting you. That is a kind thing for a chair to do. Maybe it is the device you are using to listen to this amazing piece of technology that connects you to me, that helps you learn English. Maybe it is just your hands. Look at your hands. They do so much for you. They carry things. They open doors. They type. They are amazing. Maybe it's just your breath. Your body is breathing for you, right now. It has been breathing for you every second of your life. It has never stopped. It is working perfectly, all on its own. That is incredible. Just find one small thing. It feels nice, does not it? That is the power of gratitude. It brings you right into the present moment, and it shows you that even on a very hard day, there is something good. There is always something good. We just have to practice looking for it. Now, let's combine these ideas. We have awareness, noticing our thoughts. We have reframing, choosing a better story. And we have gratitude, looking for the good. These are our tools. Let's see how a master of these tools lives. Let's imagine an older woman. We will call her Mrs. Evelyn. Mrs. Evelyn lives in a small apartment. She is retired. She does not have a lot of money. She has aches and pains. Her body is old. From the outside, you might think her life is difficult or sad or lonely. But Mrs. Evelyn is one of the happiest, most peaceful people you could ever meet. She is a master of these tools. She has been practicing for years. Her better thinking paths are not little jungle trails, they are superhighways. Mrs. Evelyn wakes up in the morning, and the first thing she feels is a pain in her back. It is stiff. It hurts. The automatic thought, the Sarah thought, might be, "Oh, this pain. It is going to be a terrible day. I am so old. My body is broken. Life is hard." That is the old negative highway. But Mrs. Evelyn's brain does not go there. She has practiced. First, she uses awareness. Ah, my back is stiff this morning. I feel pain. She just notices it, like a scientist. Then she uses reframing. This pain is a reminder. It is a reminder that I am alive. My body has worked hard for 80 years. It is allowed to be stiff. This pain is not my enemy. It is just a message. The message is, be gentle today. Okay, I will be gentle. Then she uses gratitude. I am so grateful that I can get out of bed, even if it is slow. I have legs that work. I have a bed to sleep in. And listen, a bird is singing outside my window. What a beautiful sound. By the time her feet touch the floor, Mrs. Evelyn has chosen her day. She has set her mind for peace, not for suffering. Later, Mrs. Evelyn goes to the grocery store. She is in line to pay. The line is very, very long. The person in front of her has 100 coupons. The cashier is new and slow. The old Mrs. Evelyn, 60 years ago, might have been like Sarah. She might have tapped her foot, sighed loudly, complained to the person behind her. Can you believe this? So slow. But the practiced Mrs. Evelyn sees the situation differently. Awareness. I am feeling impatient. My feet hurt. I want to go home. She notices the feeling. Reframing. I am in a line. I cannot change this. Getting angry will not make the line move. It will just make me feel bad. This is not wasted time. This is just time. I am here, in this moment. What can I do? Gratitude/action. She looks around. She sees the cashier, who looks very young and very stressed. The cashier is almost crying. Mrs. Evelyn feels compassion. When it is her turn, she puts her items down and she gives the young cashier a warm, kind smile. She says, "Hello, dear. You are doing a wonderful job. It is very busy today, is not it? Take your time." The cashier looks at her and her shoulders relax. She takes a deep breath. She smiles back. "Thank you," she whispers. Mrs. Evelyn has not just avoided suffering. She has created a moment of goodness. She turned a bad situation into a beautiful human connection. This is positivity. It is not loud. It is not fake. It is quiet and strong and very, very real. Mrs. Evelyn has another challenge. A new construction project starts outside her building. It is loud. All day, from 7 a.m., there are sounds of hammers, saws, and big trucks. It is very annoying. What does she do? Awareness. Wow, that is a very loud noise. It is shaking my windows. This is unpleasant. I feel irritated. She just names the feeling. Reframing. My old brain wants to say, this is a nightmare, I hate this. But what is another story? That sound. It is the sound of people working. They are building a new home, maybe for a new family. That is a good thing. The sound is the sound of progress. It is not here to annoy me. It is just sound. This noise is not harming me. I have choices. I can put on some nice music. I can put in my earplugs. I can go for a long walk in the park. I am not a prisoner. Gratitude. I am so grateful that I have a safe home, even if it is noisy right now. I am grateful for the park. I am grateful for my radio. She decides to make a thermos of tea and go to the park to read. The problem became an opportunity for a nice afternoon. She chose a better story. This brings us to another important tool. We have talked about what is inside our minds, but we also need to talk about what we put into our minds. Think about your mind like a garden. If you want beautiful flowers to grow, positive thoughts, peace, happiness, you must do two things. You must plant good seeds, like gratitude and reframing, and you must stop putting poison and weeds in the garden. What we consume is so important. I am not just talking about food. I am talking about what you feed your mind. What do you watch? What do you read? Who do you talk to? Let's go back to Sarah, in her office. At lunchtime, she usually sits with her coworker. Let's call him Gary. Gary. Gary is a complainer. His main hobby is complaining. He complains about the boss. He complains about the coffee, even when Sarah does not spill it. He complains about the weather. He complains about the government. He complains about sports. He finds the negative in everything. Sarah sits with Gary for 30 minutes. She listens. To be polite, she agrees. I know, Gary. It is terrible. She even adds her own complaints. And I was late today. And the traffic. After 30 minutes with Gary, how do you think Sarah feels? She feels exhausted. She feels drained. She feels heavier and more negative than before. She just spent 30 minutes pouring poison and planting weeds in the garden of her mind. What if Sarah made a different choice? This is our fourth tool, controlling your input. The next day, Gary says, "Lunch?" And Sarah, very politely, says, "You know, Gary, I am feeling a little tired today. I think I just need some quiet. I am going to eat my lunch outside. Is this easy?" Number. Maybe she feels a little guilty, but she does it. She takes her sandwich, and she goes to a small park bench outside her building. She leaves her phone in her pocket. She sits. She eats her sandwich slowly. She tastes it, like Mark. She watches the trees. She sees a little dog playing. She feels the sun, like Mark. She just breathes. She is not consuming negativity. She is consuming peace. She is consuming nature. She is feeding her mind with quiet. When her lunch break is over, she goes back to the office. How does she feel? She feels better. She feels a little bit stronger, a little bit clearer, a little more her. This was a small, powerful choice. This is a practice for you, our listener. Think about the last 2 hours. What did you feed your mind? Did you scroll on social media? How did you feel after? Did you feel happy, connected? Or did you feel a little empty, a little jealous, a little not good enough? Did you watch the news? How did you feel after? Did you feel informed? Or did you feel scared, angry, and helpless? Who did you talk to? Did you talk to a Gary? Or did you talk to a Mrs. Evelyn? Again, this is not about judgment. It is not, oh, I am bad for watching the news. It is awareness. Ah, I am noticing. After I scroll on my phone for 30 minutes, I feel empty and sad. Just noticing that is a huge victory. Because once you notice, you have a choice. You do not have to stop completely. But maybe, next time, you will scroll for only 15 minutes. And then you will use the other 15 minutes to listen to a beautiful song. Or to practice your English. What you are doing right now, listening to this podcast, this is good food for your mind. You are choosing to consume something that is designed to help you, to build you up, to teach you. This is a wonderful choice. You are already practicing this tool. Now, there is another technique that is very popular, and I want to talk about it in a simple, gentle way. This is the idea of affirmations. An affirmation is just a positive statement. You have probably heard of this. People say you should look in the mirror every morning and shout, "I am rich, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am a genius." For many people, this feels terrible. It feels like a lie. Imagine our friend Mark. He is standing in his small apartment. His job is boring. He has $50 in his bank account. He looks in the mirror. His hair is messy. He says, "I am rich and successful." What does his brain do? His brain shouts back, "No, you are not. You are a liar. Your job is boring. You are poor. This is stupid." And he feels worse than before. He feels like a failure and a liar. The affirmation failed because it was not believable. We must use affirmations in a smarter, more gentle way. This is our fifth tool. Gentle, believable affirmations. A good affirmation is not a big lie. A good affirmation is a kind, true statement. Or it is a statement about a possibility. Let's help Mark. "I am rich and successful" is a lie. What about "I am a kind person"? That is true. What about "I am trying my best"? That is true. What about "I am open to finding happiness today"? That is a possibility. It is gentle. What about "Today I will look for the good"? That is an intention. It is true. These feel better. They do not create a fight in his brain. They are like planting small, good seeds. Let's help Sarah. She is at her desk. She is panicking about the meeting email. A big lie affirmation would be, "I am calm and confident. I love my boss." Her heart is pounding. She does not feel calm. This is a lie. What is a gentle, believable affirmation? Maybe, "I am feeling scared, but I can handle this." Or, "This feeling of stress is temporary. It will pass." Or, "I am a capable person. I have done good work here." Or, "I will just breathe. I am safe in this chair, right now." She can say this to herself. "Okay, I am scared, but I am safe right now. This feeling will pass. I can handle this." She takes a deep breath. She decides to get a glass of water before she goes to the boss's office. She is using her tools. She is not a victim of the email. She is an active participant in her own well-being. Let's find an affirmation for you, our listener. You are learning English. This is a big, difficult, and brave thing to do. A big lie affirmation is, "English is easy. I am a perfect speaker." You know this is not true. It is hard. You do make mistakes. So, what is a gentle, believable affirmation for your English learning? How about, "I am brave for trying"? This is 100% true. How about, "Every mistake is a chance to learn"? This is true. How about, "My brain is learning, even when it feels difficult"? This is true. How about, I am proud of myself for spending this time practicing. This should be true. I am proud of you. Find a simple, kind, true sentence for yourself. You can write it down. You can say it in your head when you feel frustrated. This is hard. And I am doing it anyway. I am brave. This is a seed of kindness you plant in your own garden. So, we have talked about a lot of things. Awareness, noticing our thoughts and feelings, like a scientist. Reframing, choosing a better, more helpful, believable story. Gratitude, actively looking for the small good things. Input, choosing to feed our minds with peace, not poison. Affirmations, using kind, gentle, and true statements. This sounds like a lot. It can feel like more work. And here is the final, and most important, secret of all. You will forget to do all of these things. You will, I promise. There will be a day, maybe tomorrow. You will spill the coffee, and you will not be like Mrs. Evelyn. You will be like the old Sarah. You will get angry. You will yell. You will think the day is terrible. You will get stuck in traffic, and you will complain. You will not reframe. You will sit with Gary and complain with him. You will scroll on your phone and feel terrible after. You will forget to write in your gratitude journal for a whole week. You will tell yourself, I am stupid. And you will believe it. This is the most important moment. Because when this happens, your old negative brain will come back, very strong, and it will say to you, see, I told you, you failed. You are not a positive person. This does not work. You are just a negative, angry, lazy person. You cannot change. You are a failure. You might as well give up. This is the greatest test. And the answer to that voice, the final and most powerful tool, is self-compassion. Compassion means kindness for suffering. Self-compassion means kindness for your own suffering. It means being a good friend to yourself. Think about it. If your best friend came to you and said, "Oh, I am so upset. I am trying to be more positive, but I had a terrible day. I yelled at my kids, and I forgot to do my gratitude practice." What would you say to your friend? Would you say, "You are right. You are a failure. You should give up"? No, never. You would say, "Oh, honey, come here. It is okay. You are not a failure. You are human. You just had a hard day. We all have those days. It is okay. You are trying your best. The fact that you care about this proves you are a good person. Just be nice to yourself. Tomorrow is a new day. You can always begin again. We must learn to talk to ourselves in that same kind, gentle, supportive voice. So, when you fail, when you forget, you use awareness. I am noticing that I am yelling about coffee. And then you hear the failure voice. You are so stupid. And you stop. And you bring in the kind voice, the self-compassion voice. You say to yourself, "Oops, I forgot. I am human. I got angry. That is okay. It is a normal human feeling. I am not a bad person. I am just a person who is stressed. Let me try again. Right now." You take one deep breath. You say, "Okay, I am a person who is stressed, and I can handle this." And just like that, you are back. Let's imagine Mark. He has been doing his gratitude journal for a month. He feels great. He is lighter. He is happier. Then, he has a really, really hard week at work. A big project. He works late. He is exhausted. He eats fast food for dinner 3 nights in a row. He does not write in his journal. He does not talk to his sister. He just works and sleeps. On Friday, his friend cancels their plans, the reframe from before. This time, Mark spirals. He does not reframe. He goes right down that old negative highway. He sits on his sofa, and the bad voice comes. Bad voice. See? You are a failure. You cannot even stick to a simple habit for 1 month. You are lazy. That gratitude stuff was stupid. It does not work. Look at you. You are still the same, boring, sad Mark. You'll never change. Of course, your friend canceled. Why would anyone want to hang out with you? And Mark? He believes this voice for the whole night. He watches terrible TV. He eats a bag of chips. He feels miserable. He feels like a total failure. He goes to bed, feeling heavy and sad. He wakes up on Saturday morning. He feels hungover from all the bad thoughts. He feels terrible. He sits on the edge of his bed. The bad voice is still whispering, "You are a loser." But then he remembers. He remembers this podcast. He remembers Mrs. Evelyn. He remembers kindness. He thinks, what would Alex say? He decides to try. He decides to be his own good friend. He takes a breath, and he talks to himself, in his head. Kind voice. Wow, that was a really, really hard week. You worked so hard. You must be exhausted. It makes total sense that you were too tired to write in a journal. It is not because you are a failure. It is because you are a human who is tired. It is okay. You did not fail. You just paused. And it is okay that you felt bad last night. You were lonely and stressed. What do you need? Right now. What is one small, kind thing you can do for yourself? Mark thinks, I am very thirsty. Kind voice. Okay. Let's start there. Can you go to the kitchen and get a nice, big, cold glass of water? So Mark does. He stands in his kitchen, in the morning sun. He drinks the water. It feels good. He is not fixed. He is not happy. But he has stopped the spiral. He has interrupted the bad voice with a kind voice. He has been a good friend to himself. That night, he is tired. But he picks up his notebook. He opens it. He writes, 1. I am grateful for a new day. 2. I am grateful for cold water. 3. I am grateful that I can always try again. That is the whole practice. Positivity is not about being perfect. It is about coming back. It is about noticing you fell down and gently helping yourself back up again and again and again. It is about being on your own side. So, as we come to the end of our very long, very detailed podcast today, I want to review what we have learned. We have learned that thinking in a better way is not magic. It is a skill. It is a set of tools. And like any skill, it requires practice. It is not about never having a bad thought. That is impossible. It is about noticing the bad thought and not believing it. It is about letting the dark clouds pass by, because you know the blue sky is always behind them. We learned about our friends. We learned about Sarah, who started her day with spilled coffee and a meeting email, and how her thoughts created a catastrophe. We learned about Thomas, who was bad at meditating, but was actually practicing perfectly every time he noticed he was thinking about pizza. We learned about Mark, who thought his life was boring, and how looking for the good, the fresh bread, the warm sun, changed his entire experience of his life. We learned about Mrs. Evelyn, our master, who used her tools to find peace in a stiff back, a long line, a loud noise, and a broken plate. We learned about Gary, the complainer, and how feeding our minds with his kind of negativity makes us feel weak. And we learned, most importantly, about Mark's failure. We learned that the real practice is not about being perfect. It is about what you do after you fail. It is about being kind. It is about self-compassion. These are your tools. Awareness. Just notice. Ah, a thought. Reframing. Just ask. What is a better story? Gratitude. Just look. What is one good thing? Input. Just choose. What am I feeding my mind? Affirmations. Just be kind. What is a true, gentle thing I can say? Self-compassion. Just be a friend. It is okay. I am human. Let's try again. This is your practice. This is my practice. I am Alex, and I am practicing this every single day, just like you. Sometimes I am good at it, and sometimes I forget, and I am a Gary. And that is perfectly okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is just a better way. A little bit better today than yesterday. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining me here today on English in Fluency. Thank you for your time and your attention and your wonderful effort. You have been listening for a long time. You have been practicing your English and practicing how to be kind to your mind. That is amazing. You are doing two very important things at once. And I know you understood. We used simple words, but we talked about very big, very important ideas. You are capable, you are learning, and you are doing wonderful work. My call to action for you today, my homework for you, is very, very small. Please do not try to do all 6 of these things. That is too much. You will feel stressed. My challenge for you is just to pick one. Just one. Maybe, just for the rest of today, you will practice awareness. You will just try to notice your thoughts. Ah, a worried thought. Ah, an angry thought. That is it. Or maybe, tonight, you will be like Mark. You will find 3 small, tiny things to be grateful for. The pillow, the hot water, a song you heard, or maybe you will catch one negative story. You will hear yourself say, "This is a terrible day." And you will stop, and you will find one reframe. "This is a difficult day, and I am handling it." Just one. That is all it takes to start. The journey of 1,000 miles, the journey of changing your mind begins with one single, small, kind step. You have already taken the first step by being here and listening. If this podcast was helpful to you, please feel free to share it with someone you know who might need to hear it. And we would love for you to join our community. A wonderful way to practice your English and your new skills is to leave a comment. Tell us, in simple English, what is one small thing you are grateful for today? Or, what is one gentle affirmation you will use for your English learning? I would love to read your answers. It helps all of us. When we share our good things, we plant seeds in each other's gardens. Thank you again for your time. You are doing a great job. Keep practicing, keep listening, and above all, please be kind to yourself. You are on your way. My name is Alex, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Goodbye for now.